What's going on, everybody? TG here, back with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Facebook stock because Facebook stock has been getting beaten down recently and hasn't really been performing the way it should. We started to have a little bit of a run before earnings, and then the stock kind of just fell off and is down about 5% from where it was, but a lot more down from its highs of about $303 to now it's about a 13% drop. And nothing really bad came out about it. I mean, we had earnings and it really tanked on earnings because the earnings were actually amazing. If we really break it down, they did about $3.88 per share versus the estimate of 3.22. That's a huge beat. Revenue was a big beat as well, about 28.1 billion versus 26.44 billion. Another beat, top and bottom, very solid earnings. And then also the daily active users, about the same. Monthly active users, a little bit above as well, and then average revenue per user up as well from $10.14 at an estimate of $9.49. So a beat on every single board and metric that they were looking for, and yet the stock tanked. I mean, if we look at stocks fundamentals right now, it's extremely cheap. We're talking a 26 PE ratio. That is very, very low for Apple, or from Facebook, pardon me. And there's nothing really stopping it. I mean, they did mention a couple things about Apple and their new iOS 14 reversal that could hurt the advertising business, but overall it's still solid. It's still increasing and increasing, and that's a big metric right there. You know, average revenue per user, they're making over $10.14 per user on Facebook, and that's Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. You know, they have a lot of, solid companies in pole position right now. Instagram's the biggest of the biggest when it comes to sharing media and pictures and stuff. You have WhatsApp, which is obviously huge internationally. That's mainly where the revenue comes from. And then you have obviously the regular Facebook as well that makes good money and is really helping out small businesses with their Facebook marketplace. That's really revolutionized the way small businesses and individuals who aren't even businesses can sell things. I use Facebook Marketplace all the time and I absolutely love it. But yeah, it's a little bit of a headwind for them with this whole Apple policy on advertising, but I don't think it's going to be as big as people think. I think Facebook's still going to stay in pole position. And I mean, their monthly active users are, that's a beautiful chart. It's just continuing to increase and increase and increase over time. And I think it's going to stay like that. And I think that Facebook at these prices, especially at a PE ratio of, 26, is extremely low. It's been having a little bit of a rough year to date. The year it's still up, obviously pretty good from 217, but 21%. Despite the growth that they've had, I think it justifies a lot more that they should have. I mean, they started to have that run in August and September, but it kind of peaked out. Unfortunately, like I said, is now down a little over 13.5% from its highs. So I recommend getting into Facebook. I have a couple Facebook positions, as you guys know. Like I said, I'm still not able to trade yet. We're still transferring an account. Hopefully, it's going to work. But we're up a little bit on Facebook. We closed out a couple of them that were expiring this week for a nice profit, but we only have a couple left now. But like I said, we're still really bullish on it. We're already up 436. We can get another 1472 out of it. So I think we should be fine. I don't see worry about losing on these positions. Even this one in March, 250 and sitting at 263, it still has to drop a lot for us to be in trouble. I don't see that happening. And then obviously our 220s for September, I don't see it going under 220 either. So, we're taking advantage of companies that are getting beat down for no good reason. But what I would like to see is if Facebook does end up going in the 250s by the time I get my account on E-Trade, I will definitely be selling a couple puts on that and collecting a lot of premium for that because Facebook is solid. It's being beat down for no good reason. And, when you look at other things, like the NASDAQ, again, is up big today, up 0.66, and yet some of the best companies in the world, Facebook, Amazon, they get beat down because of it. It's kind of weird the way it's working right now. It's very, very confusing market. But I mean, big tech is here to stay. Big tech is solid, especially under a Biden administration that absolutely loves big tech. There's no reason to fear this. I think it's going to be perfectly fine. And I think you can't go wrong owning any of these companies. But like I said, a reason I really, really like Facebook is, super low PE ratio, about to be in the 25s now. And you have a quarter like this that just is an absolute beat. And they already warned, the news is already out of this warning about it. So that's already baked in. So you can buy the dip and hope that it's not as bad as they think, or somewhat better, and then you end up getting a big beat and a big pop on that. My strategy for Facebook, if I were you guys, depending on your capital size, I know a lot of you have smaller accounts. So if I were you and I had a smaller account, here's what I would do. I would go around here. I'd go about at least a month out because you get a lot more premium that way and it's a lot more safe. I'd go to about March 19th, or let's just do March 26th. Sell a put, little put credit spread action for you. Go down 255, give yourself some safety. Sell the put here. That's a buy, pardon me. Sell the put of 255, buy the put of 250. You'll collect $160 in premium. You will risk $163 in premium and risk $500 subtracting whatever premium you got. So you'd be risking $347 to make $163. That's a really good percent return on investment. You only need $360 or $347 to do this trade, so you don't need a big account size at all, and it's a good way to get a good percent return and pretty safe as well. You're basically saying that, okay, Facebook can drop a little bit, it can drop another 5% or whatever, but in the next month it's going to go up, or it's going to stay the same, or it's only going to drop a little bit. So your chance of profit's pretty high on this trade. They're giving you about a 70% chance of profit. I'd say it's even higher than that just because of the fact that it's already gone down so much and the bad news is already baked in. So I think it's a pretty safe trade. This is a trade that I would be doing if I could open up positions. This is exactly what I'd be doing right now. But I'm going to probably be selling puts on Facebook with leverage. If it's still in the low 260s, or especially, which would be music to my ears, 250s for Facebook, go ahead and sell some puts and collect some nice premium on that. Another strategy that you could do, though, on Facebook for you smaller accounts is doing a simple debit spread. Okay, I usually do credit spreads, you guys know, but in this case, if you want to do a debit spread, maybe for about a year out, I always recommend Leaps options. You go here and you do a little bit of a debit spread for about 270. You can buy this call and sell this call here. It's going to cost you only $408, but here's the thing. You can make some good money on that. It acts as buying a Leaps call essentially, but for obviously a lot less. You're capping your profits at the difference between these two. So you can make $1,000 risking 408. So pretty good profit that you can make on this trade, and it's only going to cost you about 400 if you're bullish on it. And essentially all that has to happen is Facebook needs to be above 280 by next year, and you make full profit on that. So it's a pretty cool way for you guys to make some extra money on that if you don't have a big account size. If you have a bigger account size, I definitely recommend just buying, the simple call straight up, paying $3,400 for it. Or if you have that much money, just sell a put on it. But anyways, guys, have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.